This is Australia Behind Bars.
This is really jail, like real jail.
They've done a crime, they're doing their time.
For the first time, cameras capture
The danger's there all the time, it's just when it's going to arise.
what really goes on
No snitching, no ratting on.
inside 3 of Australia's maximum security prisons.
If you can't defend yourself, you're not going to survive.
You're generally dealing with the bad of the bad.
Stop resisting the cuff.
When shit go down, it's pretty full on.
This is a world where you're either blue
Every day's a game of cat and mouse.
Calm down.
zip it, or you're green.
Jail is very confronting. You're a man with a number. You can't put a masquerade, you can't put a facade. You are who you are.
I've located a jailmate syringe. Can you comment on that?
Doing time,
Didn't know what jail was like till now. It's not a good place, eh?
up close and personal.
I am over this life. I want to go home and I want to be a mum. Just hard getting there.
From the first day behind bars
There's nothing I like about jail.
to the last.
All of these women get out at some point and you want them to come out better than what they came in.
That's some Shawshank Redemption shit right there.
1, 2.
Tonight,
Gas, gas, gas!
it's one thing to do all the training.
You stalk them, you stalk. Move to the back, move to the back. Go.
It's quite another to put theory into action.
Nice and slow, nice and slow.
Stop resisting the cuff.
Piemaker Barry's team
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
take on the neighbouring prison Macquarie.
There's been a lot of security checks to make sure that we're not going to be mixing any maximum security inmates that may have issues with each other.
And
I love drugs and I love partying.
why it's hard to leave a life of crime behind.
I don't have friends now that don't use drugs, you know? So who am I supposed to talk to or who am I supposed to hang with if my friends don't use drugs?
The atmosphere is tense at Wellington Jail this morning. A busload of dangerous maximum security prisoners is on its way from neighbouring jail Macquarie. At both ends of the journey, every precaution will be taken, with inmates scrupulously checked and strip searched.
Once the truck's been security cleared, they'll go down the intake and get secured in the vehicle dock to be unloaded and the inmates searched before they can be moved down the other.
The 12 high-risk inmates that include murderers are here for a touch footy match against Wellington, led by inmate and piemaker Barry.
Send them down.
There's been a lot of security checks done on the inmates, a lot of intel background checks to make sure that we're not going to be mixing any maximum security inmates that may have issues with each other or gang-related or any issues like that. It's not as easy as most people think, getting 12 maximum security inmates into a different centre just for a game of football. Check them off as they go. How are you, mate? You've got the list?
It's a logistical nightmare to stage the game. But the officers think it's worth it.
Part of trying to prevent inmates from reoffending is addressing offending behaviours, and we all know drugs is a major issue in community and especially with inmates.
Physical exercise is a much more desirable pursuit.
We actually really encourage sport, and it's a good thing for them too to actually be part of an actual competition, so it gives them a bit of self-pride.
They won it last year, so they got the trophy at the moment, so obviously we're out to redeem ourselves against Macquarie. There's a fair bit of history and a fair bit of rivalry. They're not too far away down the road from us, and sort of they're the glamour jail and we're just the battlers, so we'll be hoping to get the cash this weekend.
Each inmate's going through the process now of being strip searched.
Right, no one's got nothing on it. You can take the game out today, brothers. The boys are pretty keen to go. By the looks of them, we've got a good chance of winning here. Just can't wait to get on the field, eh?
Just as long as it's a good game, and there's no issues. That's the main thing, because we don't want anything to go bad while the inmates are here, so we can make sure that we can continue this tradition, and then hopefully we can have this yearly event where the inmates can actually compete against other inmates and feel like they're actually involved in a real competition.
We'll win 100%.
That's right.
That's the
trophy they're about to hand over.
I just brought it over to show them, and we'll take it back and put it back where it was hanging.
There are 40 dogs on duty throughout New South Wales prisons.
All right, fellas.
Today, Heathen and his handler Jake are here as an extra security precaution in case of trouble between the two teams of inmates.
Sounds like jail all of a sudden, Mr. Duckworth.
Boys are here ready to go, mate. We've got a lot of pride in our footy and all that there, and pretty much a lot of Aboriginal fellas grew up playing football, and that's the only sport we love, you know, and when we play it, we get into it, yeah.
It's probably as important for the officers as it is for the guys in green, because if we lose, I'm going to hear about it for 12 months and vice versa for the Wello guys.
The inmates are ready to play ball, but the officers remain on high alert for any drama that might unfold.
Have you got a football in there, please? A lot of these guys, they might seem friendly enough, but a lot of these guys are in jail for very serious crimes, right up to the worst, like murder and so forth, so we've got to be careful with them. A big fight would bring it all unstuck.
Go get them. Let's go, let's go. Let's go. Let's go, Willow.
Around 87% of defendants who appear in New South Wales courts are found guilty of their charges. Of the 15 principal offences someone can be sent to jail for, assault is the most common crime, followed by illicit drug offences.
There has to be consequences for actions. You can't commit a crime, especially a severe crime or a serious crime, and not expect to be some form of consequence.
There's been a 40% increase in New South Wales prisoner numbers in the past 10 years. But Senior Correctional Officer Lynn believes sending offenders to jail is often the only option.
The public needs to be safe, so the only way to do that is to remove people from society. Hopefully rehabilitate them so that they don't do the same things when they go outside again.
To give inmates the best chance at rehabilitation, a lot of effort goes into keeping the prison environment safe and trying to stop drugs being smuggled in.
My role is very different from most prison officers, based on a lot of security, making sure there's not a lot of things coming in that can hurt staff. No sharps anywhere? Nothing? Yep.
Random pat-down searches of inmates for contraband can be done at any time.
Unroll your shorts for me. Yep, waistband all the way to the back. Yep, pull your pockets out, show me there's nothing in them. Trying to keep the inmates safe as well. It's not just about staff. Face me, hand up one shoe, just one shoe.
We are treated poorly by the officers in jail, and if they think that's going to help us, like, they're on the wrong page. Like, that's not going to help us at all.
Turn around, face the other direction. Tip your legs out a little bit wider. The inmates themselves don't really like us very much. It usually means we're taking their drugs, alcohol, drug implements, tobacco, if they manage to get it. We're usually taking that away from them. So you're generally dealing with the bad of the bad. That's what we're there for.
When are we going to hide in our shoes?
Be quiet.
Take one shoe off and pass it to me. Face the wall.
Face the
wall.
One shoe
off, pass
and
it
be
to me.
quiet.
If it wasn't for Lynn leading our team, I don't think it would be as successful. But yeah, I have a lot of trust and faith in Lynn. I'm very lucky to work with her.
Why are you carrying on?
Because that's the first time I've ever been patted down like that for my methadone in jail.
We can do that.
Yeah. Sometimes I talk without thinking, but it's just, I'm not going to...
No, you might not. But it's not about just what you're going to do at methadone. You've been around long enough.
Being a smart ass.
Okay. Zip it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Prior to joining the correctional services, Lynn was a champion bodybuilder.
I competed for about 10 years in bodybuilding. I was a bit too short and chunky to do anything else. I came second or third every year until the last year when I retired, and I won the Australian title. I didn't eat chocolate or drink wine for 15 years. I know, just awful. I'm making up for it now. The chocolate, anyway.
Lynn brings that same discipline to her job now.
To work in IAT, for me, to work with me, you need a high work ethic. You need to want to work hard, you need to be willing to learn, and you need to be fit. Go! Go! Go!
Correctional officers have to undergo a demanding training regime to enter the IAT, and the training never really stops.
1, 2, 3, 4. The training today, guys, that we're covering this morning is, here will be baton strikes. So we are covering baton strikes, instruments of restraint, and also gas mask training. Gas, gas, gas!
Gas, gas, gas!
One of Lynn's proteges is Officer Claire.
When she asked me to be part of her team, I was a little bit flattered and I was a little bit taken aback. I'm like, this is a compliment. Yeah, we love Lynn and we'd do anything for her. She's a badass.
Next, the unit practices a cell extraction.
Playing inmates for the scenario. Good fun.
Face the wall. Get down on your knees. Cross your ankles.
I'm not fucking doing that.
Place your hands on your head. Move now. Open, prop, go, prop, 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 prop.
Move back!
Nice and slow, and scenario. Good job.
We need to know how each other works day in, day out, because the role that I work now, when it comes down to it, in a very, very serious situation, you need people there that you trust.
You stalk them, you stalk. Move to the back, move to the back, move to the back. Then when you get that distance, they've got nowhere to go, boom.
Hit them.
Coming up,
I don't have friends now that don't use drugs, you know.
will Shelley kick her heroin addiction?
I love drugs.
Stop resisting. The cuff.
And the reality of dealing with a dangerous inmate.
Give me your arm.
As Lynn comes off worse for wear.
Out of bed, hop up.
Numerous studies have shown that problematic drug users are much more likely to end up on the wrong side of the law and find themselves behind bars. At Dilwinia, 2/3 of the inmates arrive in jail with histories of substance abuse issues. And these drug addictions can continue to get them into trouble.
That's a hard thing to manage. When people are, addicted to drugs, they have that drug-seeking behaviour. So, they're more likely to try and get contraband over the fence or through visits.
One such inmate is 30-year-old mother of two, Shelley.
Are we scoring?
She's been in and out of jail for the past 10 years.
I love drugs and I love partying and I love out doing fun things, So yeah, I can't just sit at home and be bored like any other normal person.
To help those with opioid addictions, Justice Health run a program called Opioid Agonist Treatment. 70% of inmates on the program are given a long-lasting injection of a drug called buprenorphine, commonly called Depo-Bup. The other 30% receive methadone.
Drugs and alcohol are a big part of what's been going on in their life that's led them to come to jail.
Both Depo, buprenorphine and methadone help addicts wean off their heroin addiction.
What happens with buprenorphine is buprenorphine actually sits at that part of the receptor in the central nervous system, so the body's not looking for something to satisfy that receptor and the cravings go away.
The research shows both treatment options are keeping inmates off illicit drugs when they leave jail. Shelley is certainly hoping her monthly Bup injections will mean her drug-taking days are behind her.
Since this is the first time we have to do a check.
It's a legit medication so that you don't go and use heroin. So I wanted to get on the program just to keep my head down and not give dirty urines and not, while I'm in here, so I'm not getting into any more trouble.
Inmates must sometimes submit urine samples. And a dirty urine is when results come back positive for drugs the inmates should not have in their system.
Have you got any plans today?
No. Ow. On the first 2 weeks of your dosage, you might be feeling really good and have a lot of energy and training and stuff. I'm on the program now. Why? It's good. My son's getting more embarrassed of me being in jail now. He's 8, so he won't tell his friends anymore that my mum's in jail. But my daughter will still, you know, it's really sad to say. Makes me want to, like, yeah, makes me fucking devastated. I love you guys.
What dose are you on now with the PIP program?
16.
I'm on
But hopefully I can change it, you know, hopefully I can be there for them. Like, change is really hard. I love you guys. Yeah. I have to want to change, if you know what I mean, you know? Yeah. Yeah.
We're back with the immediate action team.
Cool, let's go.
Working alongside the Security Operations Group, the officers will be investigating some intel about drugs in T Block. This block houses the difficult maximum security inmates.
We're just doing a search operation with SOG in the max units this morning, and we've got a K9 here this morning as well, so we'll see what we can find. IAT to SCO max unit. Can you just hold off on let go until we get there?
All the inmates are currently locked in their cells and have no idea of what is coming.
The inmates, they don't want to listen to us. They just have to, so it can be, yeah, it feels like you're butting heads all of the time with them.
Is anyone anything on the we should have cleared before we do a search? No syringes, drugs? No?
With a nose 10,000 times more sensitive than a human's, the dog is trained to detect all types of drugs. The Special Operations Group has intel that one inmate has drugs on her.
Ladies, just keep place in the front for me.
The dog hasn't indicated to any of the women, so most are returned to their cells. But the suspect will be strip searched anyway. She is known to be dangerous, and the officers are wary of her.
She takes enjoyment for staff assaults, and she's admitted that she severely wants to injure a staff member.
Full body scanners are about to be operational at Dilwinia. Until then, strip searches must be done by female staff, although once the scanners are introduced, that won't be necessary.
The time is 8:33 a.m. We're doing a target search.
Do you have anything you want to declare?
Yes.
What do you have?
I have a syringe in my pocket.
In your pocket? Yeah? Is it capped or is it uncapped?
Yeah, it's tucked away.
So facing me, yeah?
Sorry.
Direction is to face me. Turn around again. This will be deemed as a threat before you.
Well, just turn it around.
Yeah, it's turning this way. It's not it's deemed as a threat. It's deemed as a threat.
Turn it around.
Yes.
Don't fucking use force on me, others I'm going to use force.
Okay, please. Hold it down, hold it down. Drop to the ground. Drop to the ground now. Drop to the ground now. Comply with the direction. Liz, get your leg down. Get on the ground now. Get on the ground. I'm giving you a direction. Get on the ground. Stay there. You're not moving. Stop resisting. Stay where you are.
We've just had a use of force on her. Yeah. She's got a bra on.
IAT to MPU.
You want the clinic to come here first, or you want to do it up there?
Any use of force is taken seriously by corrections and must be reported. It will be reviewed by senior officers not involved in the incident to see correct procedures were followed.
During a strip search, she declared a syringe to SOG. She failed to comply with direction. She was using force against the staff. So there was a use of force against the inmate.
The inmate will be monitored in a dry cell, so if she has taken any drugs, she can't flush them down the toilet. Coming up, trash talk on the footy field turns ugly.
Fuck me dead, boy. What's wrong with you? Play the fucking ball.
And moving a dangerous inmate.
Stop resisting the cuffs. Give me your arm. Bring your arm out now.
Injures Officer Lynn. The number of women incarcerated in Australian prisons has increased by 64% in the past 10 years. Of that number, nearly half, like Shelley, are repeat offenders. But she is adamant this is her last time behind bars. No one wants to be locked inside a cell from 3 p.m. every day.
I'm 31 now, and if I put all the jail together that I've done, like since 2011 was the first time I came into jail, I've done 7 years jail. You know, like I'm a regular that comes in and out. It's sad to say it, because like really I have a beautiful family, I have everything going for me, and I still keep coming back.
All of these ladies or women get out at some point, and eventually they're going to be my neighbour or your neighbour, and you want them to come out better than what they came in.
I am over this life. Like, I am sick of it. I want to go home and I want to be a mum, but I don't know what's going to stop me. I hope nothing stops me this time, but drugs have been, when I get out of jail, drugs have been my #1 priority every time. I don't know why. I don't want to miss out on my kids' lives anymore. You know, they're 8 and 5.
But it is her parents carrying the biggest burden of Shelley's drug addiction.
If my parents weren't in the picture, I'd be completely fucked. You know, like my kids would be in foster care because I've done close to 7 years jail and my parents have been there for me every time. My dad isn't well, and like they don't deserve that. They deserve to have their life now and retire and be grandparents that have their kids every now and again, you know?
Which means no more heading out with her partners in crime to rob people.
We broke into a garage together and stole like 100 grand's worth of Louis Vuitton and Chanel and all that bullshit, all the high-class stuff. He also got done for another charge of a package of stealing dildos.
Nurse Miriam remembers Shelley from her last time in jail.
I think Shelley needs that aha moment to identify risky behaviour and, you know, where she wants to go, where she wants her life to go.
And the biggest motivator of all, being a mum to her kids.
Hello? Hello? Hello, my baby! Hello, my baby. Did you have a good day at school?
Frequent contact with family is proven to help inmates adjust to a normal life when they leave jail.
Yeah. Hi, princess! I miss you so much.
But each phone call is capped at 6 minutes.
No more jail, hey? Mum's got to get better, eh? It's not a life. It's not the life that I pictured me to have, put it that way. Like, when I was younger, I never thought at all my life would be like this, ever. All right, I love you, Mum. I'm going to get locked in now, all right? I do love them. I love them to death, you know. I love them more than anything in the world. But, like, it's hard. It's hard being an addict, you know? It really is. Bye, love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bruh, my mum's got my back so badly, bruh. Makes me want to cry. She's so beautiful. Oh, come here. Don't.
Oh, you're allowed to cry, Shaul. I love you.
My dad's really sick, but eventually I see myself living with my mum and raising my kids with my mum, you know? My mum's my backbone. She's my everything, you know?
Every year, Wellington inmates play a game against neighbouring prison Macquarie. This year, Barry's the coach and captain, and he's determined to steal the shield off reigning champions Macquarie.
Our boys are coming down from the pod now. They'll go past the metal detector. They've been searched as well, but just double-check through the metal detector. Overall, you're basically running everything and making sure everybody's safe and the security's paramount. Our guys have been searched, so the area's been searched. Nick, you're obviously going to be reffing. Worst case scenario, I think the frustration might kick in from one team and there might be a bit of push and shove, but we've got enough staff here as the ref. If there's any dramas, just send the drama off and
we'll just put them off and keep it rolling.
Perfect.
While games like these don't happen often, they're seen as an important part of inmates' rehabilitation.
It's good to get out and have a game every now and again and just let a bit of steam off, you know. The T-shirts they got done for us is pretty good, nice and bright. I like to stand out, you know.
The game also serves to improve relations between officers and inmates.
If you're out running around and enjoying yourself, things are going to be a little bit more happy and settled. Where's Dave? Cheers, mate. No, they go back this afternoon, they'll be a little bit quieter and they'll go about their business and should make for an easy afternoon for them as well as us.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
When you get out there, play hard, get it out of the wings and we've got to beat them. They beat you last year, you've got to win.
Wello can start the ball because it's our home ground.
Let's go, Warriors, let's go!
One. Right. Two. Three.
You're going to have to sub more, I think, because all of them are going to be puffed in a minute.
5. Change over there.
Get in there, get in there, get in there. Go away, go away.
It's a very quick game at the moment. I think whoever scores first is going to be the winner, because I don't think there's going to be many tries in it.
No try.
He ran over the dead ball line.
He didn't even put it down when he was in there.
No try. Stop. Boys, try line, white hat.
So far, it's still 0-0, but the boys have got to change over a little bit more, so we'll see what they've got to say at half-time.
Let's go.
Half-time.
You're done. Listen, hey. Listen.
You're not turning over either.
Listen, I'm telling you, these guys can't score against us.
Fuck me dead, boys. What's wrong with you? Play the fucking ball.
If an incident takes place, you think you might have it in hand, but it can change very quickly.
See this arguing? That's not good.
Yeah, not good.
Back on the field.
Stay off. Go.
Back to 0.
That's why.
Macquarie soon find an opening. And try.
Macquarie!
Wello are 1-0 down. But the game's not over yet. A few days ago, the immediate action team raided T Block with a syringe found on an inmate who's known for trying to injure officers. The inmate is part of a worrying trend for Senior Corrections Officer Lynn.
The young ones have become very, very cheeky these days compared to what they used to be. It's a whole new type of inmate now. Even the older inmates I've known for years have all said the same thing. They have no respect for anyone anymore. They put on this big show. It's like having street cred.
Inmate Vanessa, who's been in and out of jail for the past 20 years, agrees.
As long as I've been coming to jail, old school, as they call it, I respected people in the system, depending who you are. But there's more of the younger generation that come in and their morals are very different. These days, the younger generation seems to rule.
The dangerous inmate has been held in a segregation cell for 10 days, observed by corrections staff. She's been given access to a shower room and is being moved back to her cell.
She's the type of inmate that's unpredictable. You sort of get a feel for the girls in here if they're going to comply with you. You sort of know with most of the girls if they're all talk, but she's not all talk. She'll physically assault an officer.
You've just got to be really, really careful. So always on your toes with this one, always being very, very alert, because she tends to spit. Cross your ankles, put your hands on your head. Now lay down on the floor.
Moving this inmate is filmed to record that correct procedures are followed.
The reason why I got her to lay down is because she basically, you just don't know what she's capable of.
Despite clear instructions, the inmate refuses to cooperate, escalating the situation.
Stay there. Just stay nice and still, yeah? They're going to put some cuffs on you.
Stop resisting the cuffs. Give me your arm. Bring your arm out now.
I kept saying to her, are you going to comply with directions? She said, I don't know. So that's for me, that's a no. So I've got to take care of all the staff. It's not just me, it's the staff.
Lynn instructs her officers to put their gas masks on in case the worst scenario plays out and they're forced to use chemical spray to subdue the inmate.
If you fail to comply with directions, force and or chemical measures may be used against you. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Yes.
Ready? Come in.
Cease recording at 12:07.
I thought it was for the...
Lynn has been cut in the exchange and it's deeper than she thought.
I think that's from her toenail.
Are you okay? I thought it was for the inmate. That's why I was like, do you want me to do it?
I think that's from her foot. Yeah, a chunk out of me.
Apart from dressing the wound, Lynn is tested for HIV, hepatitis C and tetanus.
I hope she hasn't got anything. I don't want to hold in my tattoo though. It's my concern at the moment. No worries. Thank you very much for that.
That's all right.
We're going to have lunch now.
This is my house. These are the girls I live with.
Inmate Shelley has just had her first bupe injection, a drug used to treat opioid addictions.
So I got on the bupe program, so I'm very talkative. It makes you have a lot of energy. I've done 50 laps of the stairs. 2 more, come on girls. Physically, it boosts me right up to here, you know? Like I have so much motivation. I'm trying to get fit as a motivation to try and look better for when I get out. If I get fat while I'm in here, I'm 100% going to use drugs when I get out so I can look good again, you know? So if I'm fit and healthy when I get out of jail, then there's another reason why I won't go back to drugs when I get out.
It's a special day for Shelley.
I'll see you when I get back.
With her family a long 5-hour drive away, she's been granted a 40-minute video call. These iPad visits were an initiative set up last year when family visits were stopped due to COVID.
So I miss out on a lot of my kids' lives. Hello? I do miss them the most. Hello? Happy birthday! Happy birthday to you. You're so cute. I miss you so much. Did ya? Yeah. And did you score a goal? Yeah. Wow! I'm so proud of you. Super duper 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 proud of you. Oh, okay. I gotta go, right? I love you guys. See ya. Oh. Thank you.
That was a good visit, eh?
Yeah. Fuck, that was so cute.
What did you get for?
Oh, my daughter, she got like heaps of Lego and like just jewellery and makeup and stuff. Yeah.
How old is she?
6. Yeah. It lifts your spirits a lot when you see your family and that. Look around, get a smile on her face. Like it also makes it harder when you come back to yourselves and you're not with them, you know? But yeah, especially on a day like today because it's my daughter's birthday. I miss my kids. That's the hardest thing about jail. But yeah.
It's the 2nd annual Jail versus Jail touch footy game, featuring some of the most dangerous criminals in the state. It was 0-0 going into the second half. But Wellington, in the light green, are confident they can bring the trophy home.
Stay off, go, 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 go! Back to 0!
Not if they let Macquarie in like that, though.
Cut! Go Macquarie!
Barry's team have 20 minutes to even the scorecard.
That's it, in again.
Oh, look out, Barry's through. Freight train nearly made it through.
It's the fourth touch.
It's 1-1 now. The boys have actually just scored, so we're drawing it back to 1-1.
A draw would mean Macquarie keep the shield for another year.
A few minutes left in the game, so we'll see what happens. Oh, Wellington just scored.
It's good to take a title this year, you know. Pretty good, yeah, good win. 2-1 it was, the score, yeah, so pretty good to get away with a win.
Wellington got over Macquarie 2-1, which was fantastic. They started to play really well as a team towards the end and made some gaps, and yeah, it was great to see. They were extremely happy. Both teams played extremely well, and yeah, we look forward to the next one next year.
Woo! Well done, Mr. Quinn. Congratulations.
Well, the boys did all the hard work. So Barry, here's the trophy for you and your team.
When you get out in the field and you play football, you play to win, you don't play to lose. And we all give it 100% and have one each on the board and yeah, on the trophy, and yeah, pretty good.
It's been a few weeks since Immediate Action Team Officer Lynn was injured, moving a dangerous inmate.
That injury that I sustained from that use of force with that inmate has healed up really, really well. It's a little bit sore still, but it's good. The Hep C and Hep A must have been fine because they said they would call me if there was any dramas, and there wasn't. The HIV I have to get done again in 3 months' time.
It's been decided the dangerous inmate can be dealt with better at another prison, so she's been transferred.
I don't know where you're going, but yeah, we're going to take you there, all right? She's going somewhere else because of the fact that she's assaulted another officer by spitting on them. Okay.
The inmate's escort is filmed to record that correct procedures are followed.
So Tuesday the 9th.
Don't drop me like that.
Beg your
I'll
pardon?
drop you back.
Don't threaten me.
Don't intimidate me then. I feel threatened.
Right, you're right.
Stop talking. Yeah. She's been in the system a very, very long time, so that's all she knows. Inmate secured, cease recording 11:38. She would know people everywhere, so every center she goes to would be like a reunion almost. Yeah, so that really doesn't bother her at all.
Inmate Shelley is off for her second monthly buprenorphine injection.
It's a bit dangerous. Traffic, sir.
A doctor has reviewed Shelley's progress since receiving her first injection and has instructed nurse Miriam to adjust the amount.
This morning, Fabs and I are going to be giving Shelley her pivotal injection. So she's on 96 milligrams today. Morning.
Morning.
Come and take a seat. Now, you know what you're here for today?
Yes.
So do you know how much you're having?
96.
Perfect. Now, before we do all that, you had 64 last month?
Yeah.
Yeah. How did that go?
It was good for the first 2.5 weeks, but the last week and a half wasn't the best.
Okay, so tell me what not the best means.
The first few weeks I had a lot of energy and I felt like I was capable of doing anything. But the last week I was a bit restless in my sleep. I had a little bit of cramps in my legs, a little bit of a runny nose and a bit hot and cold. But it was nowhere near like hanging out from heroin.
Okay, so Shelley's been in custody a couple of times, and this time, for me, I saw her last custody as well. This is the best I've ever seen her. Does it get easier?
The bigger the dose gets, the more it hurts.
Oh.
It stings like a mosquito bite really badly.
Like a flu shot?
The flu shot hurts the next day more. This hurts like instantly for like 30 seconds and then it goes away. It's worth it. Definitely worth it. It makes you feel like you don't want to go chase other drugs. Like, yeah, makes me not using jail for now. So, can't complain.
I think she's getting there. I think since she started Buvidal, I think it's given her that clarity. But now that she's on her second monthly injection, she's flying. She's laughing with us. She's well dressed. She's engaging. She's polite. This is the best I've seen her last custody. She was a bit of a shell of a Shelley, huh? Almost there. Oh. Shake it off, shake it off. This custody might be that turning point for her. I hope it's a turning point for her. We'll have to see. Worth the goal at the end.
I know.
Worth the goal at the end.
Yeah.
Now, you know what to look out for.
Yeah.
Feeling unwell, headaches, cramps, nausea. Yeah. Exactly the same as last month.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
I just got to get you to sign, Fab.
The BUP program is lessening Shelley's cravings for heroin.
Hi, guys.
But she's still worried about falling back into bad habits on the outside.
You got girls that are fully drug addicts out there, full drug addicts. Like, their life revolves around drugs day in, day out. We don't sleep, we don't eat, we don't do nothing. And by the time it comes when we're ready to get out of jail, all we're ready to do then again is go back and do the same thing over again. Comes in, get healthy, get some strength back in us, you know, just do it all over again. Oh, I hate them!
Shelley, bro! Me and Lee want to talk to you, bro.
Ooh, yuck.
That's what a meal looks like.
Yeah.
See why we don't eat it?
Shelley's calling a friend that she's partied with in the past.
Oh. See, you sound heaps happier now. I'm so jealous. I want to be out. I might not get to call back again. It's already 3. I love you. I love you. I'll call you back, all right? If I don't call you back, I'll call you tomorrow. We fucking just got on. Ah! Yeah, I'm doing my heading bar.
Getting on means her friend has just taken drugs. Before Shelley is even out of jail, she's tempted to rejoin her old life rather than start a new one.
Changing is really difficult because you're just so used to that life. Like, I don't have friends now that don't use drugs, you know? So who am I supposed to talk to or who am I supposed to hang with if my friends don't use drugs, you know?
42% of inmates released from a New South Wales prison will be back in jail within 2 years. If Shelley is going to start a new life, she needs to stay clean.
I want to make my parents proud of me. And my dad's not well, so I really... hang on a second. I really hope I can make him feel like he's not a failure before he does pass away. And I know I can do it. Like, I know I can do it. Just hard getting there.
Next time...
Didn't know what jail was like till now. It's not a good place, eh?
A father sacrifices for his son.
He's gone and deliberately got arrested so we can come in and check on his son.
I just hate the place. Don't come back. I love my son. I'd do what any father would do.
Jail is not a place to show weakness.
You can sink or you can swim. If you sink in here, you're in shark-infested waters.
And new inmates desperate wait for a cell in a safer prison.
You can never let your guard down here.
And Nolene prepares herself for life on the outside.
It's scary.